And on your way out of the kitchen to vote for me, don't slip on the awesome sauce that somebody spilled all over the floor.
Right.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so to wrap this all up, I'm thinking that he's doing that, thinking that that's his way of connecting with this person.
And so, but here's the problem. Let me explain to you the problem with that. The problem is, you said that if you're hanging out with somebody that you want to get to like you, and he's folding his arms,
right?
You may fold your arms, even involuntarily or subconsciously,
right?
If his hands are in his pocket, you might put your hands in his pocket, right?
Your hands in his pocket.
Yes,
right.
you might put. You might put your hands in his pocket, and that might be a little awkward, but you might do it anyway.
Well, if you were at the park with Rubio, you're good to go.
Wow. Okay, so here's my problem.
Okay.
He was not mimicking what these people were behaving like. He was mimicking the typical, what he believed black people acted like in general. It was a stereotype. It was the most stereotypical. It was like you were watching a skit from In Living Color from the 90s or something. Right. It was like, what?
And so the parents look back at him and say, my dear friend, might you be okay? Is it something wrong?
Or they could have said, do you act like this all the time?
Right.
Because this seems kind of odd. I mean, you're excited because it was like right after the tournament was over, the son did well. He did well. And so the coach was excited, giving everybody pats on the back and all that kind of stuff. But the way he was talking was like, what? I don't know.
Wow.
You know what I would like for him to call me up right now and say, bro, I act like that all the time, man. What you talking? You're being you're being
counter racist on my racistness.
No. He could accuse me of being prejudiced against him because of the color of his skin.
Well, you think I'm supposed to talk in a certain way just because I'm white?
I'm supposed to talk like this? Is that what you're saying? Because I have white skin, I'm supposed to talk like this?
Okay, call me Carlton too.
Yeah,
whatever.
Oh, anyway, so I'm actually defending Hilary because she didn't invent whatever it is she's doing.
No, I'm not defending her. I'm saying she's doing that on purpose because she's pandering and she's racist.
But I don't think if she was even running for anything that would have made her act any differently.
She would do it again. Yeah, you're right.
She could be running for nothing. And if you threw her up in front of a Southern Baptist church at the pew, she'd be like, how's everybody doing? I don't feel no way tired. What's up, my girl? No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, she was approached by a black woman, and she started laughing at her.
Did she go?
Apparently, she was at a coffee shop. Hilary was, and she was holding a cup of coffee.
That was my cackle. I'm not good at the cackle.
Yeah, that's okay. And she was approached by a young black woman who said, "You're not down with the black fight."
Okay. Was she a Black Panther, or was she a
black causes? Meaning
Black Lives Matter?
No, it seems like she came out as if to be against all the poverty programs. It almost seemed like the black girl was coming out as if she might have even think that Hilary should be more of a conservative when it comes to raising blacks out of.
Well, that sounds awesome.
It came off that way because if you look at the last 8 years of Obama, Black America is completely in the tank.
I would love for Trump to do an outreach to the black community and say, "Look, guys, I don't feel no way." No, he won't do that. He'll say,
"You know what's funny though? Trump does not change his dialect to anybody at all, ever."
That's good. I would like him to say the truth, which is, guys, for those black Democrats out there listening, you've been sold a bill of goods for what, 50 years now?
Right.
Maybe more, 60 years?
Time to get up out of that.
Yeah, I mean, they're lying to you. They're keeping you down with these policies.
Okay, So Trump is now pulling more black votes than any other Republican candidate.
Which that doesn't surprise me, but yeah,
No,
I mean, it's still low though. It's still way too low.
But what does surprise me is that the GOP isn't embracing his angle because they want the black vote.
They have
desperate.
no idea. This is what is infinitely, mindlessly, just shocking to me. Establishment Republicans believe that the way to get to the black vote is to do socialist programs.
We got to give them more money. We
Give
can
them
pay
more
them off.
stuff.
Pay 'em.
It works for the Democrats. We got to do what the Democrats are doing. That's called being a Democrat.
Right, and that ain't us.
And causing America to lose
Right.
the same way the Soviet Union lost.
And look what has happened with the Democrats doing what they've been doing and the GOP doing what they've been doing to the black community for so long. At least the last, you got 8 years of Clinton, 8 years of Bush, and 8 years of, you got last 24 years. That's an entire generation of black children.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And if you go
And their
back
parents.
24 years, but I mean, this stuff has been happening.
I know. But I'm just saying that all the government programs have been exponentially funded in the last 24 years. And at the same time, they have kept black America in such impoverished conditions.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of people... And
It's demoralizing, and you slip on the awesome sauce and you get into drugs.
okay.
And you wind up in jail, and then they wonder why. It's because you Democrats and your programs are putting people in jail.
I think the best quote comes from Ronald Reagan, who said, it's the soft bigotry of low expectations. These programs
Amen.
that were dreamt up by white people in high places in politics to help black people really is sending a message, as far as I'm concerned, that you are an inferior race.
Oh, yeah.
You have to, and that's why we have to do this for you, because you can't do it yourself because of the color of your skin. That's the message it sends. That is racist, or at least bigotry. And whenever you create these programs under that premise, you're a bigot.
Right.
You've got to recognize the truth, which is that it doesn't matter the color of your skin, that you can succeed, and you don't need to be given all this crap. And so it needs to go away. What needs to be said to all of the black community, particularly Democrats, though, black Democrats, is that you don't need all this crap. You should know you don't need all this crap. Do you believe you're inferior to the people that don't need this crap? They should say, no, I'm not inferior. I can do all this stuff. And so it just needs to be taught to whoever, not just blacks, but whites and blacks who are poor, how to succeed in America, and stop all this socialist propaganda in the schools and teach them the things that are going to help them succeed in life. Like, there's no course in 13 years of schooling that teaches people how to start a business.
Which is
That's what America
It's a travesty.
is all about.
It's a travesty.
You talk about the American dream. How do you expect people to live the American dream if you don't teach them how to live the American dream? The American dream is business ownership.
Right. And did you know there's a such thing as called a brown and black forum?
No, I didn't
in
know.
Iowa.
Okay. What's that?
Hilary was sitting down with one of the he looks like a black guy, might be black brown. I don't know.
It could be a white guy, like that one. What about that woman? I can't remember her name. The one that was outed because she's not black.
Her mom outed her.
I don't know why she's acting like that. She's not even black at all.
She's not black at all. She's from Kentucky, from down in the hills. Come on now. Come on home.
I don't remember her name. But
all right, so check this question out. He lobs at Hilary.
Uh-oh.
See if the sound's right.
Believe that white terrorism and extremism is as much a threat to some in this country as something.
I'll do it again. Ready?
Yeah.
Believe that white terrorism and extremism is as much a threat to some in this country as something like ISIS.
Do you believe that white extremism and racism
is as dangerous
as ISIS?
Woo! Okay.
I think that we have all kinds of threats in our country, and I wouldn't discount any of them. I think we have to take them all seriously. And many of those threats are fueled by the gun violence that we face every single day, where 90 Americans are killed by guns, homicide, suicide, tragic avoidable accidents.
Guns don't kill people.
So one of the reasons why I'm so adamant and so much in support of President Obama's policies that he's rolled out is I just think as a nation we cannot sit idly by while 33,000 people a year die from gun violence. I also believe that we have to take any form of violence, and particularly organized violence, seriously. So, yes, I believe there are all kinds of underground movements and efforts in our country to try to use violence or assert certain beliefs that I find often lead to violence. So let's take some of the white extremism that we see.
We do? We see it?
I remember very well going to Oklahoma City and
that had nothing to do with
the ruins of the federal building where, as I recall, 168 Americans, including 19 children, were murdered by a bomb, by a guy who
But that had nothing to do with the color of his skin.
That's terrorism as far as I'm concerned.
He hated the government. He was a terrorist.
I also think when you have
But he didn't do it because... Stop real quick.
So that
he didn't do that because the building was full of black kids or black people. He didn't do it because he wanted to kill black people or that he had any problem with the black race. So what...
You don't know. Carrie, you don't know. She knows something we don't know. She knows something we don't know.
Timothy McVeigh's act of terrorism, which it was, domestic terrorism, has nothing to do with white racism. It may not have anything to do with the fact that he's white at all.
Well, she's calling him out as white in a black and brown forum.
Well, he is white. That is true.
Okay.
Whether it matters or not.
She just made it a point to matter. So the title of this
so dishonest.
So what I put up on the title of this video is Hilary is an extremist. I agree 100% with Hilary and what she's saying in this video because she is more dangerous than ISIS to us right now, and she's the extremist that they're talking about. They just don't know it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. The question, that questioner... So do you believe that white racism
and white extremism and racism is more dangerous than ISIS?
Can he give some specific examples? I literally think that this is in his head, and it's a narrative that is being pushed on unsuspecting.
Well, he's the head of the Brown and Black Forum,
so he goes around to people who are living their lives and doing whatever, and there is no evidence or actions or things in the news that people are doing with regards to violence that one would say, wow, these white people, they're so extreme and racist. This is becoming a problem. What are you talking? Give me some examples. Give me an example that justifies the premise that we have a problem with white extremism. And I mean extremism that is based on the fact that these people have white skin and that they are doing it under the motivation that they have a problem with people of black or brown skin. It's in his head, and it's purposely in his head. It's not like something caused him to feel this way. He wants to propagate this onto unsuspecting bystanders who happen to be listening to him. And he may cart out some statistics or even videos from back in the 50s and 60s of people in the South being hit with fire hoses or whatever, and German shepherds barking at them or whatever.
It doesn't happen anymore.
No, this is ancient history. This is ancient history, and they're rehashing it and trying to claim that it's happening again. It's not happening again. What is he talking about?
Well, it might be happening again if you live in a Democrat district or if you live in Chicago.
Not really.
Well, no, you're
there are not white extremists
no, you're
and racists rising up in Chicago performing violence on black and brown people.
No.
You better start giving me examples, or just sit down and SHW whatever.
Up.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait, STFU.